Namaskar friends. In this video, you will learn about the subject disaster management. This is the unit number 3, disaster management cycle and framework. And this video is the part 1 of unit number 3. In this video, mainly we will focus on the disaster management cycles and some related terms. Now let us first start with the disaster management cycle. Friends, see in this figure. This figure represents the various phases of disaster management, which includes mitigation phase, preparedness phase, response phase, and then recovery phase. So this figure basically represents the different 4 phases of this disaster management cycle. Now let us try to understand these all phases individually in depth. Emergency management activities can be grouped into 5 phases that are related by time and function to all types of emergencies and disasters. Total 5 phases are part of the disaster management cycle, but this figure represents the 4 phases. These phases are also related to each other and each involves different types of skills. The first phase is planning phase. The activities necessary to analyze and document the possibility of an emergency or disaster and the potential consequences or impacts on life, property and the environment are included in this planning phase. This planning phase includes assessing the hazards, risk, mitigation, preparedness, response and recovery needs. The next phase is mitigation phase. The activities that actually eliminate or reduce the probability of a disaster are included in this mitigation phase. This mitigation also includes long-term activities designed to reduce the effects of unavoidable disasters. For example, land use management, building restrictions in potential flood zones. The third phase is preparedness phase. The activities necessary to the extent that mitigation measures have need or cannot prevent the disasters. In the preparedness phase, governments, organizations and individuals develop plans to save lives and minimize disaster damage. Preparedness measures also seek to enhance disaster response operations. For example, compiling state resources inventories, mounting training exercises, installing early warning systems, etc. The fourth phase is response phase, which includes search and rescue activities following an emergency or disaster. These activities are designed to provide emergency assistance for victims. Search and rescue operations are carried out to save the lives of people, which is the highest priority. They also seek to stabilize the situation and reduce the probability of secondary damage and to speed recovery operations, for example, damage assessment. The fifth phase is recovery phase. The activities necessary to return all systems to normal or better. They include 2 sets of activities. The first set, short-term recovery activities, which return vital life support systems to minimum operating standards. For example, cleanup, temporary housing, and access to food and water. The second set, long-term recovery activities, which may continue for a number of years after a disaster. Their purpose is to return life to normal or improved levels. For example, redevelopment loans, legal assistance and community planning. इसको थोड़ा विस्तृत समझ से देखें तो जैसा कि समझ लो कि कभी अर्थक्वेक आया तो अर्थक्वेक के कारण काफ़ी बिल्डिंग्स कोलैप्स हो गई तो उसके जो विक्टिम्स है तो उनको फिर से रीडेवलपमेंट करके गवर्नमेंट या फिर कुछ ट्रस्ट है वो सब नया गांव बसाते हैं, लोगों को नया घर बना के देते हैं, तो ये रीडेवलपमेंट होता है। तो उसमें कुछ एक्टिविटीज़ है जो शॉर्ट टर्म है, तो मतलब उसमें दबे हुए मलबे के नीचे दबे हुए फंसे हुए लोगों को बाहर निकालना, उसको बाहर निकाल के एरिया को क्लीन अप करना, उसको टेम्पररी रहने के लिए टेंट की व्यवस्था करना, फूड और वाटर की व्यवस्था करना, तो ये सब शॉर्ट टर्म रिकवरी एक्टिविटीज़ हुई। उसके बाद आती है लॉन्ग टर्म रिकवरी एक्टिविटीज़। तो उसमें क्या रहता है कि पूरे गांव को फिर से बसाना है, सब लोगों को वापस घर की व्यवस्था बना देना है। तो वो घर बनाने के लिए कुछ लोन्स गवर्नमेंट्स के से होती है, कुछ लोन्स है वो, या फिर जो उसको डोनेशन बोलते हैं, तो वो पीपल की ओर से सोसाइटी में से होता है। तो उसमें थोड़ा लीगल टाइम हो जाता है, थोड़ा टाइम लग जाता है, मतलब 6 महीने, 8 महीने, 1 साल, 2 साल। तो that is considered as a long term recovery activities. Then paradigm shift in disaster management. The meaning of paradigm shift is a fundamental change in approach or underlying assumptions. For paradigm shift, the disaster management authority should know whether or not an emergency exists, the demographics of the affected population and the number of people affected, the details of the emergency, for example, cause, location, magnitude of disaster, the condition of the affected population, for example, mortality and morbidity rates, the local response capacities and available resources, including organizational and logistical capabilities, the extent and type of life-saving needs and priorities, the likelihood of additional future problems or needs. The starting point for any assessment is identification of the eventual users of the information and their particular information needs. Data, which include perceptions, numbers and facts, only become useful information when they are meaningful and relevant at particular times and places for specific purposes. Pre-disaster preparedness. This preparedness is the next phase. All phases of emergency management depend on data from a variety of sources. The appropriate data has to be gathered, organized, and displayed logically to determine the size and scope of emergency management programs. During an actual emergency, it is critical to have the right data at the right time to respond and take appropriate action. Emergencies can impact all or a number of government departments. Emergency personnel often need detailed information concerning pipelines, building layout, electrical distribution, sewer systems, and so forth. Then disaster risk assessment. Some general risks frequently present in the emergency phases are continuing presence of hazard agents, that may be secondary flooding, fire, landslides, extreme cold, chemical pollution, etc. Then loss of lifeline services like clean water, waste disposal and medical treatment. Then adequate supply of emergency clinical services, inadequate supply of essential foods, then effects of severe climate conditions exacerbated by lack of shelter, warm clothing or heating fuel. Then tools for conducting disaster risk assessment. Under this, a national risk assessment is a strategic risk assessment that supports the design of national disaster management strategies, policy and regulations, NDM programming and budget allocation. A local risk assessment is an operational risk assessment for NDM action planning. NDM means National Disaster Management, contingency planning, pre-disaster recovery planning, and proper urban planning to conduct risk assessment in pilot regions. Build National Disaster Observations, that is NDO. A NDO is a sustainable local institution, helps the countries to learn from their disaster history and incorporate that knowledge into the National Disaster Management Strategy and the implementation of disaster risk management activities. Then risk mapping. Risk mapping is the process of establishing the spatial and temporal extent of risk, that is probability and consequences. The results of risk mapping are usually presented in the form of maps that show the magnitude and nature of the risk. Risk mapping requires combining maps of hazards, exposure, and vulnerability. The average frequency of occurrence and location of most extreme events can be determined with some degree of accuracy, while global maps of hazards such as potential desertification, severe storms, and earthquake and volcanic activity do exist. A more detailed approach is of more use to environmental health and disaster planners. Maps of the zones surrounding hazardous factories and the routes used to transport hazardous materials, plus data on seasonal wind velocity and direction, can be used to predict the scale of possible hazards and determine the method of evacuation or other emergency response if leaks or explosions occur. Risk mapping scale, that is known as zonations and microzonations. See this table of risk mapping scale. Left hand side first column represents the mapping scale, this column. The next to right column represents application level. Next right column purposes of GIS application, and next right column data requirements. See this first. This is the mapping scale 1:10 lakh or smaller, that is at national level, and purpose of GIS application is formulation of national disaster risk management strategy, and data requirements for that national scale information is as required. The required details of the input data is low. So these are the various mapping scales according to application levels. Again, referenced as purpose of GIS application, and the reference is data requirement. So these are the different mapping scales. The next is relief and rehabilitation approach. Relief is no longer perceived only as gratuitous assistance or provision of emergency relief supplies on time. It is, on the contrary, viewed as an overreaching system of facilitation of assistance to the victim of disaster for their rehabilitation in states and ensuring social safety and security of the affected persons. The relief needs to be prompt, adequate, and of approved standards. Guidelines defining minimum standards of relief will be prepared by the NDMA, setting up of temporary relief camps. DDMS, that means District Disaster Management Authority, especially in recurring disaster prone areas, may identify locations for setting up temporary camps. The temporary relief camps will have adequate provision of drinking water and bathing, sanitation, and essential healthcare facilities. Ensuring minimum standards of relief and speedy management of supplies are important. So friends, एक तरीके से देखा जाए तो ये पूरा हायरकी है. जैसे कि हायरकी में सबसे पहले NDMA, नेशनल डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी, दैट इज एट द सेंट्रल लेवल. उसके बाद आता है स्टेट में, SDMA, दैट इज द स्टेट डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी। उस स्टेट के बाद आता है DDMA, डिजास्टर डिस्ट्रिक्ट डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी। देन उसके अंडर में आता है लोकल अथॉरिटीज, दैट इज द लोकल टेम्पररी रिलीफ कैंप्स। देन रिकंस्ट्रक्शन एंड रीडेवलपमेंट अप्रोच, उसमें सबसे पहले है ओनर ड्रिवन रिकंस्ट्रक्शन। सो रिकंस्ट्रक्शन प्लान्स एंड designing of houses need to be a participatory process involving the government, affected community, NGOs and corporate sector. Reconstruction program will be within the confines and the qualitative specifications laid down by the government. Speedy reconstruction, essential services, social infrastructure and intermediate shelters or camps will be established in the shortest possible time. Contingency plans for reconstruction in highly disaster prone areas need to be drawn out during the period of normalcy, which may include architectural and structural designs in consultation with the various stakeholders. Then linking recovery with safe development. Efforts will be made to support and enhance the viability of the livelihood systems, education, healthcare facilities, care of the elderly, women and children, etc. Then livelihood restoration. State government will have to lay emphasis on the restoration of permanent livelihood of those affected by disasters and special attention to the needs of women-headed households, artisans, farmers and people belonging to marginalized and vulnerable sections. Then capacity development approach. A strategic approach to capacity development can be addressed effectively only with the active and enthusiastic participation of the stakeholders. This process comprises awareness generation, education, training and R&D. It further addresses putting in place appropriate institutional framework, management systems and allocation of resources for efficient prevention and handling of disasters. Identification of knowledge-based institutions with proven performance. Promotion of international and regional cooperation. Capacity analysis of different disaster response groups at state, district and local levels. Adoption of traditional and global best practices and technologies. Laying emphasis on tabletop exercises, simulations, mock drills and development of skills to test the plans. So friends, thank you. Happy learning.